David here, weekly week look. Today is Monday, 1st of May. We're looking at the new crop contract, November 2017. This obviously bank holiday weekend, so market is not open, and we'll start with the yearly chart in front of us. We can see here what I've identified is a clear line of in the sand of 137. I've marked this clearly on this chart here. You can see in 2009 it acted as resistance. The market never got through it. In 2010 it obviously broke up, and then we saw this mega lift up to 220. In 2015 obviously it failed and it broke through it, came up and tested it again, and then fell through, and then we've been in this sort of below this level here for the last 3 years. We can see here quite clearly at the moment, last 3 months we've just been above it. Friday night's close was 138.25. We can see obviously I've marked on the arrows here where it was resistance and support. At the moment it's a key area of support. We can see visually that we've got an upwards trend in place, and obviously our first target above this is 145.32. Let's pop down into lower time frames. This is a 6-year monthly chart sticks together, and you can see here I've just drawn this line here, 137. We can see here that at 2011 how it acted as support here, kicked the prices right back up. We had that rally in 2012. We can see here there was a year it broke through it. 2014 broke through it, came back up, and then obviously we've had the 2 years below it, which was 2015 and 2016. And I marked this clearly on here. And obviously you can see now that what's happening is we're just sort of losing strength and going sideways around this level at the present moment, lacking in direction. Pop down to the monthly chart. You can see here that the candles are getting much smaller, much tighter. We had this big move here in this is in October, and then reversal in November, and now what we're doing is almost going into a sideways kind of reaction area at the moment. Pop down into the weekly. Last week we can see that we recovered some of the previous week where the election, the snap election was announced, and obviously sterling went up, so we suffered with a reversal. You can see I've drawn this line here, 137, which comes in, and you can see exactly where we test it above here, test it here, and fell through it. At the moment we're holding support. We can look at the stochastic here, and we can see that the market is losing a direction at the moment, and I've marked this area where it's sort of in the middle of no man's land. It's not in an upwards trend, and it's not falling at the present moment. It's 50 right in the middle area. It's what we would class as sort of range bound market. Pop down into the daily, and we can see how things are changing here. The last 4 months I've drawn this trend line here above these highs and above these lows, but this is now turning into a sort of smaller 4 monthly trend, and you can see how even this is now starting to change, and we're going into this sort of sideways pattern range here. You can see how important you can see this marked. I've marked on the stochastic here on this daily chart around this 50 level. Interesting, you can see here this 137 level here was resistance in August, and obviously in November we saw this gap through, and then it came up and tested that gap and then went right down. Again here in January we saw a gap right at that level again. It held the support here, and then obviously we had this rally up in March, and in April all we've done is just held above it. At the moment I would class this still as an upwards trend. We're above the 200-day moving average. The 60 is getting confused, sort of coming in with the 10 and 20, but we will have to keep a close eye on this, and if we did see some major deterioration or a weekly close below this 137, that may set off alarm bells. At the moment it's what I would call an upwards trend losing strength, and looking for direction at the moment, and I'll put an update this time next week. Thanks for watching.